This is something that mankind won't be able to help. Another getting back to my classic orange shirt videos. You can all the emblem here you can recognize, of the holy. Anyway, yeah, no, mankind cannot help what has happened. Women can, though, because see, the reason why I keep talking about this as seriously as a heart attack, but no, it's coming up around me. I don't care about this fucking subject matter. I'm being exposed to it. I can go way back. We can go way back to COVID-19 and try to find out what was really happening. What is doing what? What is trying to do what? If it's gonna wake anything up to what is it? We are so vague on it. But it kind of stuck out to me how the way that, okay, no, they're trying to tell us a certain thing about our bodies, and then it's like literally, if you've seen it, like going general, they try to tell us that no, you're feeling a certain, you didn't feel that, you're feeling it this way, and this is your symptoms right here. And it's like, no, I'm telling you the way I'm feeling. I know the way I feel. You don't tell people the way you feel, and you don't blame them for the ways that they make you feel, right? You just go in and find out what's making you feel that way and get away from it and do a process of elimination. Women do this really naturally. I want to tell you, see, if my mom was alive, she would have laughed at the whole thing. But she couldn't, she was rendered, of all of the illnesses, mankind cannot work this out either, apparently, but because it gets worse and worse, they have made a business on it. I'm not making this up either. They can't cure the fact that their diseases and the illnesses and cancer, all of it, even the smallest little head cold, is man-made. It's there. Some science lab is doing something they think is necessary about something. Who knows? It's but we happen to, I'm sorry, but we happen to be on a planet that's like that. And it's not, you can't, see, it's not impossible to rise above all of it. That's the thing that Jesus Christ was trying to tell us. She was saying, oh God, you got to raise your vibrational frequency. Love is the highest of high. Now, what is love? That's the thing we need to, now it's, because this is I heard the analogy, and I'm going to put the video up of this woman who, I've been watching her for a while. She's been doing it for a while. She's a real live oracle. She's somebody who has helped, not everybody, right? She's not everybody's cup of tea, but no, she has led people at least into knowing that there are genuine people just by watching their face expressions and how they continue to try to just be looking up, and it's like they're talking and they're saying no. And a lot of times these are women. See, this, now I'm pointing back at this because now, well, never mind that we're having an imposter. Well, there's imposters everywhere. If you want to round it down, I have, and hit like and subscribe if you've been paying attention. It's about there's human beings, or no, there has yet to be a human being there. It's about enlightenment. They're either intact, some people are born that way. I'm not making this up. See, I'm going to keep bringing information that's already there and say, look at it. But it's pointing at the organism, getting back to that again. And it's funny because did we see what real word is in the word organism, babes? We are, if anything, our bodies are a higher learning tool. Pay attention to, say, like your knees, and if you use those, they might send you walking into a direction you never know. But there's a lot of things. I don't know why I get to this really like sarcastic, like it's like do you want a system or people to continue to treat you in a condescending way because it's just obvious? It's like, well, did you turn your eyes on? Did you look? Did you open up an account with reality? I mean, everybody is dealing with the truth, which is the same for everybody. Yes, it is. See, people will disagree with that. It's like, no, you want to talk to the few people that really know the truth about the truth? How about having respect for us? See, with the C-19 thing, it's one of the things we've noticed, particularly in the medical industry. The elders were told to stand down about everything, and let's continue on with this media and call this particular case, which was a car accident, a death from the C-19. See, the thing about that, babes, I don't want to open it up right now, and I don't want to hit this fucking subject matter because, right, the algorithms say, no, you can't talk about that. And it's why? Why? Because out of 2,000 videos, I've been spot on, but I just get off a little bit. When are people going to start thinking on their own? It's really easy. But unfortunately, it's an accident that is hard to find, like almost like the Goldilocks zone of the planet itself that we're supposed to believe that it's just, and maybe, yes, it is. Only love can do this, babes. If you just kind of see, if you're around people that minded their own business such a way that they never, it was just love there that allows a space and feeds you. Now you're, see, that a woman doesn't have a problem with this, you know? I mean, she's like, especially if she's decided to have kids. See, the thing is a lot of women, they might really, I've heard, it comes with huge religious fumes, which is, a lot of it is satanic because it's based on this. Yes, I hope it happens. You know, and let's pray. And it's like, no, do you know you have a part, you are to open an account with reality. You're obligated to set an example with your entire body. What is the truth? And relay it. Women know that. They'll get around and say, and you see, now getting to the subject matter of sex and how there's two sexes. Well, you notice how that, I don't know, I'm 50 years old, and this is the truth. Hit like and subscribe if you noticed it too. And this is very a controversial subject matter, but you know that both the sexes have sex with each other because sex is sex. It's just, you can have sex with a bicycle. You know, women know that. It's like, well, let's try this. You know, I don't know. Men can too. They're like, what's this, a peanut butter jar? Heat it up a little bit. Great. Oh my God. Hardly minute 15. I mean, 7 and 15 seconds. And there's nothing like this video that I'd ever made. But I'm sure it's going to get the least amount of attention because people might think that I'm a certain way. It's like, no, if you haven't noticed, okay, the Olympics over there, ladies and gentlemen, did you know that the Olympics were performed, when they were performed, naked? They were performed naked. Now, I was thinking, now, what's the purpose of that? Well, we don't even know the purpose of anything anymore, so we have to kind of use our imagination. And it could stick out like a sore thumb. Actually, it's like obvious. And that's why some things are allowed to go fly out the handle so much, because it's like something is trying to say, like to say, let's do this now and try to figure out what you're doing. Let's do that now and try and figure out what you're doing. Because it isn't obvious, and they're just, it's like, it's time for war games, man. Let's just pepper the population with something. They're being stupid. We're taking care of too much as far as whatever it is, right? I mean, people losing their IQ, and really the way that people think of that. How do we really, see, we hear it now. What is your education? Well, your education, see, Mark Twain, they keep saying, Mark Twain said this, and it's really, everybody said it when they get educated with the real way. You start getting turned on to your body first. It's an insult to the whole entire creation of creation to think that we need so much helicoptering. Do you ever think that maybe we should be left alone to what? Your higher learning tools. Now, a higher learning tool, start out with your body. Now we have reality. Log in there. There's the earth. There's dirt. There's the sun going on. I mean, it's infinite in possibilities how we can just tap the truth and become buoyant with that. Having said that, babes, when we say buoyant, what does that mean? What do you rise above? No, you can see technologies that can work for us. It's here now, but totally abandoned because what was behind it was hijacked. Getting back to the woman side of things. Now, I hate the subject matter because it doesn't get me anywhere, right? Because where are women with it? I mean, they're always complaining. Nobody wants to be a woman because why? And I don't go there. I'm like, you know what? I think that there's something wrong here. And how much time do people think that they have before they start getting more and more real and hip? Like, really, was that the way to go? Is it just still power tripping. Now power tripping is it's like this. Somebody is getting into their power, like a little toddler gets into their power. I've seen this before. Narcissists with little kids. And you know what? Getting back to the sexist thing. I hate this subject matter. But before the 90s, before it became more prevalent in women, men were always called narcissists. And, it, I don't know. And a lot of them will admit, yeah, I'm kind of, bleh. Well, a man's intelligence is brought up only to the level of the intelligence of the women that he can be present to. Having said that, if it is true, and it is true because your story of Christ Jesus is precisely this, but put a beard on it. And some women do grow beards. They can be really good looking, but they have to manage their hair off their face and their whole body sometimes, I guess. See, we're not alive very long to realize what is actually happening here. We are being fed a crock of shit across the board. Nobody thinks for themselves and thinks, no way, actually. And maybe my grandmother and even grandpa were being fed full of crap. They were honestly trying to do something here as far as the real evolution that's supposed to happen, or if that is. See, we don't even know. See, when we keep going like this, we're being fucking bamboozled across the board. I hate this fucking subject matter because I'm scattered all across the board, and it's like this, people. Your life force energy is here to create towards the offering inside of the organism. You are to reflect and loop back into yourselves. What can you do for each other? And if one whole side is missing, particularly we're complaining about the woman side, to where, of course, the Olympics and everything has gone to hell, and especially men. Men are like, and all kinds of, because you know what? I hate sounding like this too. Because it just sounds like, people can look at this and think, you know what, she's just a, a woman and man hater and a hater across the board. It's like, no, no. And I guess you just really have to clean yourself up here. How? See, I cannot lay down, none of us can lay down flat enough for this narcissistic society that comes up with nothing but reactive abuse to whatever stands up and says, no, there's a better way to do this, and this feels like shit. No, see, that's just outnumbered. Try anybody who, like Jesus over there that says, excuse me, and I don't have time to fucking expose my flesh to this unless it's a good and hearty sacrifice that just can never die, can it? So that what? So that bullshit may live? No. Maybe so that the fear of God may live. The fear of not ever knowing the truth. That was a woman over there. I don't care about this. I'm not really struggling. I think I'm protected, and I think that, yeah, no, there's organizations that support each other. Let's get it back into the sex, Shauna. What were you trying to say about that? Well, there's two of them here. Fact is, I think it's been happening underground or all the time. It's just, but let's get it on the table. There is sex here. There are the sexes. It's more acceptable. It seems more beautiful and acceptable. I don't know, but this is what I noticed. See, I'm not afraid to look into subject matter, and there is the sexual subject matter. They show women having sex with each other more than men do, than to accept what men do and how they do it, right? But it's the same. But they accept women doing that more for some reason. Have you noticed that in the comment section and down below? I got myself in trouble because I'm not really looking at it like that in a biased way. I'm noticing a trend, and then I'm telling you about it. See, some people doing real science in our lives can be trusted to give us real information about real science because they don't have a filter. They're using their eyes as is. They're using the ears as is. They're tasting things as is. They're touching things as is. There is a passage from the eye to the heart, connecting and just includes the interdimensional realities. And what are we wouldn't know that why we actually go to sleep at night. It's because this is a fake realm here. And it's like, are you really to take it seriously? as seriously that you forget that it's a fake realm. That if you've ever heard some of the really revered and admired people, that we never get very far here, people. We don't, unless you start penetrating more and more to it. See, I was going to tell you about what a man said. What's his name? The guy that played in Silence of the Lambs, the actor. I always forget his name right away. But he's a very, very, very well-known actor. The main actor to Silence of the Lambs. Anyway, the crazy guy. Anyway, God. But he has a really interesting philosophy. And he says, no, this is a video game. Once you figure out you got to be player one, and just wherever you get with that, you don't get very far. It's a game. And you don't own the game, right? But what are you going to do? See, did that person really do the right thing and say, oh, it's a game. Just get caught in the act and I'm me as the game. No, no. If there's a real crisis that because we can't put down our act and say, wait a minute, but how are we okay here? Why did we lose our technology away from actually working for us? And why is the water poisoned over there? And what happened to an ear of corn? Jesus Christ! Start killing yourself. Oh, hi, Jesus Christ. Was that you? It kind of looks like that, doesn't it? No, you're crazy. I think that no so-called video game player, especially player one, is going to allow you. You're actually a sacrifice that it's justified, so that it's. I can't stand listening to the 80% of Christians justify talk about it, because I don't hear them making much sense as just an energy in and of themselves. It's like not a real presence, but then they're going to start regurgitating this shit. But what they've really done is, where's my club? I gotta make myself a club and just start beating you over the fucking head with it like this. God, I just live in fear and I don't know what else to do. But that's you people are trying to exorcise God out of humanity. Period. That's what that fucking thing was. Jesus was the truth and or God, and if it was a woman, it makes way more sense. Way more sense. And I don't care about. See, I don't care for any of it. I think that there's a possibility to become enlightened as you can become love. See, we need to talk about that more, and I'll bother. You got down to 17 minutes, and you actually watched me heal right in front of your face. Because we're going to get sick here if we don't learn to breathe and find out what is really the problem. Welcome to Mercury in Virgo right now. Just hitting a little bit of what we need to look into, see what it will do, is it will help us. Virgo is, everybody knows, is the Virgin. You want to get into the Virgin, what that really is. It's the original source of anything. There's an original thing, and when you hit it, it's the same for everybody. It's called the truth. Go to math. 1 plus 2 is what? You can do this. Plus, how much is it? The sound will tell you alone. It was. What are you going to do? You can put a number behind it, but you can't fool a kid about it. Now, if you try to, we have a language that is reliable. If you want to look at Roman numerals, I don't know, but people gaslight just because that's one of the avenues for the mind to create what it needs to be more real than the process that it takes, which is death and then to rebirth. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what you are to live each and every breath. Who makes it? Having said that, who made it? We can look around. Where I'm at, I'm beginning to understand. It's like, okay, I'm very privileged to have had the life that I've been living for the last 35 years, but I have to uproot completely and leave to where people can understand what I'm saying. And if it's because I'm turning 50 and I need to go just convalesce, whatever that, I don't believe in any of the stuff that they try to tell us about our age and anything. They talk about like you just believe it, then it'll happen. Well, yeah, kind of like, don't tell yourself the things that are untrue. Because I don't care if it's that or not, but see, just going away from the truth itself, that you don't look into it and try and talk to yourself about it. Appreciate people that know how to talk to themselves right in front of you, that they know it's important. Hit record and then talk to yourself. Make sense to yourself. That's the one you put on YouTube. If you can't make sense to yourself, you're not going to do it. I'm an artist, and I have been playing music since the age 3, and I put together good shit. I won't expose myself very much unless it's well put together. I've been doing a cardinal sin, having said that, with a lot of stuff here. I mean, as an art, babe, the whole of humanity is turned into a soup of necessity, which is chaos, because that's what we draw out of. See, they know that more than you do, and I will teach you what chaos is. That's the natural state of reality. I didn't just say that it's something that we can't manage any bit of creation out of. No, that's the necessity. It is a blank canvas. You want to see what chaos is to a painter? And it couldn't have anything of its medium to work with unless it was this. God, I gotta find a perfectly blank page. There's your chaos. There's your reality of reality. This is the truth of reality, outer space, the final frontier. Drop the mind. Every breath, just say, nope, I can't own any of this. Listen, see, now we're getting into tribes being so in harmony with the fact that they're just one. Can you imagine being able to resonate in such a way with your voice alone that maybe, just maybe, things like granite liquefied around you and you can start just molding it to whatever you want, or maybe the machinery that you make simulates that kind of technology that you are in such a way that it doesn't have a schism in it. See, the truth is these computers are altered, coming from the fact of how reality is rendering up very technologically. But they're not telling us one bit of how very simple it is. And nobody ever is, only a child will try to contemplate it. And if they do it in church and really try to question, guess what happens there? Did I mention the story of whatever happens to them? Hi, Christ, was that you? Yeah. Whatever you do, don't really get hot and heavy on the subject matter of like, wait a minute, because it's called triggering. Now, in your personal life, you have triggers going around all around you. If you're trying to heal yourself and somebody is there, I mean, with all of this going on, the passage that we have to get through is a very good analogy. Adrian Littley said it. Can't explain it any better. If you're alive and well and you're an oracle, or somebody like me, I'm an oracle. I don't put these here for no reason. It's to guide people. It's to help people. Do you feel? Where we are as one. Now, did you notice that there's 2 types here? Did you see? And which one are you? Call it the split? Call it narcissism versus empath? Is it getting down to men and women versus each other? Or is it really that there's a third party? The dark triad. Did you hear me come up with it? I'm repeating it for you again. The dark triad is not the trinary system, which is hooked up heart matters, outer space, and the truth itself. It's up to you to turn yourselves on, and you take care of each other. You come up with something that starts to, it's already, you can see that they already have it there, but it's completely pulled apart, and they say, no, fuck you and your religion, fuck you and your science, fucking you and your any reason to do anything. Fuck all of it! What are you gonna do, kids? Don't you love when I do that? Really, we need to support each other better. See, the main thing that I'm figuring out is like, we actually don't need to fuck with money. We need our creative lives. It might be that I'm a leader, and in 1 year, this time next year, it's like, see, you know what? See, you better be willing to stand up for your right to be able to survive here. And that is as simple as your right to remain silent. Because nobody sees how you're just trying to get along here. They're waiting for a file in, How much money did you make? And did you pay your taxes? And did you go to this doctor and file? And that way it's all files, right? And they do it more and more electronically. And it's like, you don't take control of my body that way. You don't take control of my creative life that way. And you don't take control of what the intention of, if there is a creator of creation, what they have in store. And I hate to sound totally, oh, how many likes is this going to get now because I'm going fairy tale? No, it's better to stay as open as the mind of a child, because how do you think we're losing what made the pyramids over there, and how to think about it? It wasn't that long ago that we are now driving over ruins and we are being held captive by something that it's fucking hilarious. The financial institution, and how everybody thinks that's just the way to go. You got to do it. Oh God, are they going to make it? Oh God, push them into it. Oh God, thank God. And they're doing all the fake prayer. Did I talk about it? Come on, babes, hit like and subscribe if you appreciate what, we can keep condensing this down. It's just, is it really just entertainment, or did it really help you just a little bit? See, it's 99.99% psychological, that money system over there. Right now you can see it. It's like, wait a minute, you can learn an actual skill that causes pleasure to somebody. See, this is the saying. I love it. Please watch these two videos. I don't know. Alan Watts, he says, never has it been money that has brought us pleasures in life. Skills do. The real passion to know something and to complete and be talented and to persevere does. You see, in the Bay, there are multi-million-dollar yachts floating, and not a single one knows how to sail them. Yet that's the aspired monetary status or symbol that you are, whatever you are. But they all forget that there is the real skill behind the art of sailing a yacht. And none of them get out of the bay because they don't know the art or the skill of sailing. So there's something completely missing from those people, which is the real live pleasure of being fulfilled as a sailor. Includes going through the storms and how you have to close the yacht up, and some of them have a way that pull everything over and it turns into like a tumbling thing if it gets really bad. I mean, if you really are a sailor and you know that thing could sustain your life on the ocean, and you're not even providing yourself of that, man, the down home, deep rooted satisfaction and pleasure of just knowing that, you know what, you have merit in the way that you walk on and off of that fucking pier. Kids are looking at you like, and it is trustworthy. Not with money, not with skipping over what it takes to become a human being, which is a skill of skills. I'm just talking about love now. Rare to find. And I'm here to tell you, nothing is useful without love behind it. Nothing. It turns into a trash heap after a while. That's kind of what we have. It's like, oh God, look at the ocean out there. And we just keep going. It is worse than ever. Where water, dirt, becomes useless without love. See, we need to start explaining what love really is. And if you want to really fuck up your narcissist population, which we don't want to do that, but they're testing us constantly and trying to get us to prove that we know better about something. Otherwise, they push us into the money system. Yes. And see, this is where we're at. Can you make it through the eye of the needle by, healing yourself? I'm feeling instant healing right now just by talking to myself and saying, no, basically, this is what I've been all my life. You handle a higher learning tool if really you have your body first. Somehow, man, you've proved that, you know what, I could play basketball too. Or masturbation is fun. I don't know. But really, that's the number one thing for maybe for a woman. Yeah, but no, it's important. Wow. Again, minute 29, you got it this far. Hi, it's me again. I'm not going to die here. In fact, the worse that it gets out there, and the more that we're getting attacked, the more we're just going to shine. That's just the way that the pillars work amongst the organism. We're called the 144. It's just that all of our strands have managed to. We're some lucky fucking chosen ones that God says, now I'm going to use you. Because there is a fucking, you want to call it a video game? See, there's player one and player two. These are men and women. Christ says over there, just if you can just get that together, just please, if you can get that together. Why? Because your technology, you might be able to write a book. You might be of some use to some children. You will figure it out. You will say, no, it's very simple. And look at this. And we manage our way like this within microcosms. We do not follow Antichrist. No. No, this right here, your camera is serving for your own faculties, really. You know, a lot of people, it's like, well, turn on the camera on because we are talking, or turn your recorder on because we're talking with a narcissist who, you know what? The other day, I think I triggered one who all you have to say is like a certain word, right? If you're trying to heal yourself and you're trying to bring yourself up and you can see it's like these people they're threatened by it. And it's like, there's nothing you can do about that. You don't want to live in disease. They are doing something that's like, okay, so nice Dr. Pepper meal you had there with what? Some orange fucking chemical shit? Great. Because you didn't want to waste the money. Well, stop wasting money on it to begin with. Don't buy it anymore. Just figure out why you're eating. It's to fuel yourself. It's to give yourself the right fuel so that you can be a better presence to the truth on this plane. It takes a lot of focus in case you want to be a yacht sailor or anything else. And that story is very 100% real. Having said that, look at how everybody handles these tools. Guitars and people and women in kitchens and everything. For what? A lot of it, you know what? If they were real, they would say, you know what? You should handle this too. Not especially the kitchen. You know how hard it's gotten to just to find a fucking decent meal that isn't poisoning us and keeping us in disease? Let alone somebody that can program it right and say, you know what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, bless this water for you. And then who is doing that? Not saying that one is more dominating now over the other. See, since they killed the science off of resonation, being able to just go, ha, and whatever fucking note it is, a real note. See, I'm a musician. I know better, babes. When I play my music, it's instant healing. If you don't like that, there's something else. But you know what? We are here to heal. Find out what pulls your mind away from shit, and especially being possessed by something that will take you right to the very edge. And you will never see that life that is of resonance and your interconnection and how really, maybe you did matter. Some people don't see it until 40 seconds before their last breath on their deathbed. And believe it or not, their whole life wasn't a waste. It was a big eureka, but that 40 seconds of pure realization, let's hope it's enough to get them on the other side, that they can remember on the other side, yes, how I love and what is important to focus as love for eternity is just, let's have a good time.